What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. J. here, back for another episode of In the Black Court with the man, the myth, the legend, the Mr. I'll Sue You, Attorney Ken Harris. What's up, bro?
You say man, the myth, the legend. I thought somebody else was on the
Listen, man, in a minute, they're going to see why you the man, myth, and the legend. You're going to see, dog. You got something for them.
Hey, man, I got a little gift, man. A little gift pack. But yeah, man, how you doing, Jay, man? Good to see you, brother.
Man, I'm doing good, man. Doing good, man. My knee feel better. The doctor released me. So I'm good. I'm funky fresh out here now, dog.
Hey, Jay, we see you out there on them highways, man, running 10, 20 miles at a time, man. That's some good stuff, man.
Man, I used to. I ain't done that in about 5 years, but I'm good. I'm getting back.
No, that was amazing, man. Y'all, when you used to run like that, man, that was incredible, man.
Man, back in '83, boy, you was
hit them streets, man. For real. It was really fantastic, man. Inspirational, man.
Man, I appreciate it, man. How you doing? You having a good week?
It's doing good, man. Hey to my lovely wife, Felicia, Christian, Sydney. What's going on, fam? Love y'all. You know that.
Yeah. So everything good? You straight?
Everything good, man. Man, I want to say this, man.
Yo.
I'm trying to grow, a little thing down here, with the I can't do y'all can do the beard and make it look good.
Oh, yeah?
And I struggle with that, man, because mine doesn't come out, like looking like yours. So I gotta
take patience, I think, bro.
Well, what type of juice or berries do you put on here, man, to make it sound like yours? Yours look good.
What did you see in that commercial where they say that hard water? Do you have hard water in your crib? I think it's a little bit of that, dog.
It's hard. I was telling one of my friends, man, that a lot of brothers have them now. Yours looks great.
Thank you, bro.
But it's hard to get it to look right like that, man.
You gotta go through the struggle though. Like the first year I did it, I didn't shave for like months.
Yeah.
Like I just thugged it out.
Yeah.
And then after that, once everything, if you haven't allowed something to push through, I can do a little sermon about that. You gotta push it through. But it finally kind of, came out of a certain pores, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that what you call them? Or hair follicles, you know what I mean? And so it'll come through like that. Man, you ought to try it.
I don't think but yours looks, I like, it gives you that distinguished.
You think so?
Kind of smooth.
Appreciate it, man.
Powerful look, but I'm always going to be a kid with a little fake beard. I guess
man, you got the baby face.
Yes, sir. Well, man, another week in the Black Court, my man.
Yeah, man, we getting up there, man. This is episode 19.
9.
Yeah, man, we've been doing this, man, once a week for a couple of months, bro.
I like it, man. Let's go get some more tonight, man. And props to I always say this, man. You said I got to get some money from them, though, man. The Honey Hunters, man, in Gastonia. I know Jay said with his sponsorship. Brandon Jay said with his sponsorship dollars at, man.
Jay ain't said nothing, man. Go
ahead. That's what Jay saying, but man, look, let me tell you something. In first place in the Southern Division of the Atlantic League, which is the league right under the majors. And so props to Brandon, the only black majority owner in baseball. And again, not only got a team, they beating up on some folks. So that's all good stuff. Gastonia, North Carolina. Brandon, handle your business, baby.
That's what's up.
All right, all good, man. You see how he reacted. Boy,
man, when you come on, man.
Paid sponsorship. See, Brandon, you saw what he did, man. That paid sponsorship.
Man, you come on,
okay. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I ain't gonna bring him up no more, man, until they get this stuff over here.
LG, time step, dog. Time step.
LG, we talk to our producer now. We get that sponsorship. We have Honey on the caps and shirts.
We'll be in the terrible towns.
Honey on the thong. I know. Brandon, get your money over here, baby. You won't let me say it no more, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good, man. What we talking about tonight, man?
Man, it's we talking about prime tonight, man.
Who was that?
Prime time.
Prime time. It's only one prime time.
Prime. I'm telling you, man. We talking about prime tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're gonna talk about that money.
Okay.
In college athletics, but we got to start with prime. Then we're gonna end up with this. I don't know what these people doing. I ain't talking about Chris Brown and Michael Jackson, but we're gonna talk about that tonight too. I know that's hot right now. So.
Yeah. All right. So you want to kick it off? You want me to kick it off?
You go ahead, man. Prime.
Man, so I gotta tell you, man. I watched the show called Coach Prime. It's a YouTube show featuring Coach Prime, Coach Deion Sanders at Jackson State University. I would encourage anyone, especially if you went to an HBCU, if you're a big football fan, whoever you are, if you any of those things, watch the show. It's really, really good. It shows not only him going in and trying to, being a Hall of Famer, going back to a small HBCU as far as a football program that is, and trying to revitalize the whole culture, not just on the football field and as far as the football team, but just all HBCUs. So it's just really incredible. So tonight you hit me up and we wanted to talk about his impact, not only on Jackson State, but also HBCUs.
Man, the Prime Show is real, man. There was one episode where he was bringing in the walk-ons.
Yeah.
He was like, so, look, let me explain something to you all now. I don't want you to see, I got 10 of y'all, 12 of y'all walk-ons on the team. We only gonna keep 10. But he said, let me tell you something. Don't ask for nothing. If you ask for anything, you gone.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't ask for nothing. Don't ask coaches for nothing. Don't ask for no extra equipment or anything like that. If you ask for anything, you're gone. Then there was another episode where he introduced a new theme song for the team. And, just the way the guys react to him.
Yeah.
It was, what's that song? Here I go. That. But the way the guys reacted to him, or the way the players relate to him more like a father figure than a coach, is really outstanding. And he ain't playing out here. Prime ain't playing. He's building something special at Jackson State.
So I wanted to talk to you about what do you see as far as why is he being so effective? Because now what we've seen happen, you've had what's my man Eddie George went to Tennessee State. I think we've talked about this before when we were talking about Coach Brian Flores. We were talking about Eddie going, Coach Eddie. Was it not Eddie Long? What's his name?
Yeah, right, Eddie George.
Eddie George going back to Tennessee State. He, of course, went to a predominantly white college, a huge school in Ohio State, the Ohio State, as they say. And then my man Hugh Jackson went to Grambling, the illustrious, to use one of your words, Grambling State. And so the thing that I like the most is that he's not your typical coach. He's like the cool dad. His sons are, young men. They're still in college, they're college age. And one thing I like about Prime, Prime has always, or at least in his playing days, he was very flamboyant. He dressed really nice. He could speak well. He was very engaging and charismatic. And he's brought all of that with him, not only on anything that he's done in the past as far as broadcasting or anything like that, but also as a coach. Man, you see him on the sideline. I think he relates to his players real cool. Man, he's on the sideline. He got his gold chain on the top of his sweatshirt or his T-shirt. He got his cool glasses and shades on. And also, man, he relates to them. You talked about the song. His favorite song before games is My Hitter, My Hitter. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just a great thing to see him be so relatable instead of some old guy who's out of touch and who can't relate to players.
Prime is and was flamboyant. This is the first time that I met Prime. I don't know if you see right there. And that's when I used to look like Keith Sweat a little bit. See that right there? I don't know if you can see that. I'll hold it up for y'all.
Ken Sweat.
That's me and LG, our producer, way back in the day with Prime. And we were in Detroit.
Yeah.
That was back when he had a music career, playing football, playing baseball, also doing the music thing. And we got brought in on the music side.
Yeah.
To work on the music. Yes, the song called Must Be the Money, I think it was.
Must be the money.
Yeah, you know that.
That's my joint. Must be the money.
He hit it for a minute. For about 2-3 weeks, he was hot.
Yeah.
So Prime did his thing on that. But what strikes me now is that he had this, I think the thing about Deion that people miss is that, number one, he wasn't all flash and glamour. Deion's stats lived up to the hype. And that's the thing that people miss about him then, and I think that's what people are missing about him now. As a coach, he is flashy, and he does relate well to the players, almost like one of their boys, but Prime is a disciplinarian.
Yeah.
And if you watch the show you're talking about,
Coach Prime,
and you look at his organization, the way the team is organized, how the coaches handle their business, the facilities that he's built. This ain't no fluff. No, this is all real. And he is dead serious about building a great environment, a great team, and great futures for his players. So all of the coaches are always talking about motivation, how to be a better person, how to be a great person in the community, how to carry yourself properly. But it's that other business side that's taking place too. He's recruiting and getting in some of the top players in the country and rubbing some people the wrong way in the process. They don't like that because they're not used to HBCUs getting some of the top players in the country. So.
Yeah, a couple things I want to point out of dovetailing off what you talked about. Number one, man, Coach Prime is a very and deeply spiritual brother. So everything that, he does inspirational videos every morning talking about faith. He does posts every morning about different scenarios. He's talked about what God has shown him as it relates to not only having an impact on Jackson State, but even through Coach Prime, the TV show, he's talking about impacting all HBCUs, and it's already been evident. We talked about the other coaches that have come in. It's almost like he's made it cool to go to a HBCU, and that's a great thing. This is a great timing, post George Floyd and a lot of other stuff, especially for athletes. Now, of course, you and I know we have tons of friends and colleagues and stuff that a lot of people are attorneys and accountants and dentists and business people all over the world that come from HBCUs. But as far as sports are concerned, Ken, I don't know when the last time, I know you went to Carolina, Graham went to NC State. I don't know when the last time you've been on a campus of an HBCU. There was a episode in Coach Prime where he showed the practice field. And it was terrible. He was concerned about people getting hurt. And so you talked about the business side. Man, he has a deal with Barstool Sports, which is a media company. And he's leveraged everything from his likeness to relationships to try to get as much money as possible at that school.
Man, when you see that practice facility he built down there, that practice field, it's incredible, man, what he's done. And that's what I love about it. He's about business. You mistake the fact that he's flamboyant for the and suggest maybe that he's not about. No, he's all about business. Yeah. And so I love what he's done. I tell you what's odd. It's kind of like Brandon being the only black owner in baseball and having the new facility in Gastonia. Now I want to go see a Jackson State football game. Yeah. I didn't go to Jackson State. But I want to go see what's happening down there. He got the number one player in the country.
Number one college recruit. Yep.
Might as well say he stole him from Florida State. That was his alma mater. Yeah. And brought him over to Jackson State. They're going to get a lot more recruits. Got his son playing quarterback and handling that business, who I think his son was a 4-star recruit.
Yeah, his other son plays safety or corner or safety for them as well.
But they're all carrying themselves the proper way. And I really love it. And you're seeing this goodwill he's creating at Jackson State migrate into the other HBCUs. And that's what I'm hoping, is that the other HBCUs start seeing the benefit of what Deion is doing. Because, hey, man, when the SWAC championship comes around, somebody got to play Jackson State if they make it.
That's right.
So it's elevating the attention or the spotlight that's being put on all of the HBCUs around the country, and it's absolutely fantastic. And I think Mo Williams is their basketball coach down there.
Yeah, Mo Williams that played for the Cleveland Cavaliers when LeBron went to the finals.
That's what I'm saying, man. This thing is starting to get hot with HBCUs. You got some of the top players in the country considering playing or going to HBCUs. That can't help but elevate the status of the facilities and the resources.
Yeah, and just to say some more about that, like, they have a new facility. It's beautiful. If anybody, just Google Jackson State new facility. Ken, you talked about the new practice field. It's beautiful. I want to kind of move towards, we were going to talk about some of the recruits that he's gotten or talking about NIL, but I wanted to bring this up about Deion. Number one, he made their merch, their merchandise be cool again. So now people want to, seeing all kind of celebrities with Jackson State paraphernalia on. So he did that. But I wanted to say this. It's kind of hard on the recruiting side. Hold that picture up one more time, if you don't mind.
You talking about the one where I look like?
Yeah, man, your skin look like you had a little skin care regimen that you did every morning.
I did, man.
Great.
Olive oil and tangerine.
So check it out. Hold it right there. So I know you gotta hold it up. You don't want your arms to get tired, but it's hard, Ken, to have that guy go into a recruit's house and look at his mama and say, I'm a 2-time Super Bowl champion. I'm a Hall of Famer. I'm one of the greatest athletes to ever walk Earth. I was a pro athlete in 2 sports, and I'm in the Hall of Fame in 1. And I want to come teach your son how to play football. It's hard, in this day and era. It's hard to top that, man.
Mm-hmm. It is, man. And then you talk about commitment. You know, Deion had some recent surgery.
Yeah.
Was that, man, he came back, man, limping and you know, just showing his players about life and overcoming and being the example.
Yeah.
Doing it yourself. And I just love what he's doing down there. And again, I'm just hoping and praying that it migrates across HBCUs, because it would be a wonderful thing to start seeing HBCUs everywhere. I want Prairie View to start getting some of the best players in the country. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
and there's a lot of discussion about why a top recruit would go to an HBCU. And of course, you know, you have facilities that aren't on the same level as a predominantly white school or these, what they call them, Power 5 schools. But if you start having coaches and people that can teach you the right way, who can show you a path to get to the NFL no matter where you go, it stops being about, I have to go to, you know, Ohio State or Oregon or any kind of D1 school. It's about my path, the same way you look at the NBA. If you can play, you don't have to go play 1 year in college right now. Like, you look at somebody like LaMelo Ball, he didn't take that route.
Well, you look at Travis Hunter, who, as we mentioned earlier, was a top recruit in football last year and ended up going to Jackson State. Watch some of the videos of Travis and how he enjoys the experience of being at an HBCU.
Yeah.
The fact that he's around a lot of African Americans and people that he can relate to. He seems to be very settled in that environment. And so there is something to be said about the cultural comfort of being at an HBCU. And I think Travis Hunter is a prime example of you know, how you can fall in love. Come to, man, once you get there, you see that band and that halftime show and all your people running around and they're administrators and teachers,
and all the
professors.
fine women.
You know, we say that too. And,
definitely that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And all the professors and administrators and all of that. And then you got people like Deion handling business. I say, man, look, you know, if the facilities are close or moving in that direction, I want all this. Yeah. And so I'm down. Let's go get it. You know?
I don't know if y'all ever been to a homecoming in Georgia or Ole Miss or Alabama or whatever. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you, it may not feel as comfortable as it does if you get Howard homecoming or Jackson State's homecoming. And so I can understand the difference when you start doing that tour, because that's what Deion said. Deion said, if you don't want a kid to go to Jackson State, don't let them come to our homecoming. It's something that you've never seen before.
Man, it's so true, man. You can just sit there and marinate in that and get lost coming to. Think about somebody who is actually, for example, considering A&T.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe Georgia, University of Georgia.
Yeah.
And those 2 visits. That's 2 different visits. I'm going to tell you right now.
Dog. Hey, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Hey, look, you know, like you say, you don't want them to get on campus at A&T if they roll like that, because once they get to A&T, they done. Yeah. They're not trying to go to Georgia. So I see what Deion is saying.
Yeah, man. Last thing you brought up, was it A&T, in North Carolina, A&T, man, they call it the greatest homecoming on earth.
It is.
Anybody got the audacity to say that about their homecoming?
I mean it. I mean it. And walk away and drop the mic, you know, on you when they say that. They mean that. If you've ever been, man, it's a festival.
Yeah.
And that's hard to, but it's a festival that caters to your cultural background.
That's right.
So compare that to going to South Carolina or Georgia or even North Carolina. Whole different experience. So, you know, it's kind of like, well, once somebody peels back that curtain and you see that other option, you gotta be careful because it's looking good over there.
Yeah, and
you smell that barbecue on them grill.
That big one with the big tub, that black one that they own up.
He and all your music.
Dude with the big towel hanging out his pocket, wiping his head.
That's what I'm saying. Young fella, you coming? When they say stuff like that, boy, that make you feel right good on a recruiting trip, you know?
Yeah, the only challenge with it has been that the path to professional play, ball, whether it's the NFL or the NBA, that's the only thing that's kind of handicapped that situation. But I did want to talk about this as it relates to the brother's name, Travis Hunter. Mm-hmm. So Nick Saban got real comfortable about a month ago and was sitting with all the big money people and had his legs crossed. And
he did too, actually.
Yeah, he had his legs crossed. When people had their legs crossed, I noticed. You know what I'm saying? Just like when Will Smith crossed his legs after he slapped your boy. I think it's disrespectful. So he had his legs crossed talking about, and Jackson State paid a guy $1 million to come to their school. And that set off this whole conversation about NIL, which is, something as an attorney, I know that you've been all over. I got clients and people who work with college students and professional players on that side. So can you explain what NIL is so that now we can talk about how it's impacting college ball?
Before we get to that,
okay.
Isn't it interesting that you just said Nick Saban is talking about what's happening at Jackson State?
That's incredible,
that
right?
will tell you how much the college landscape has changed now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's like,
it's David and Goliath.
That's like Hubert Davis saying something about Fayetteville State. That's the same type of thing. What a great world we live in now where HBCUs are relevant nationally. So that was fantastic. Now, NIL is one of the reasons why Travis Hunter can go to a Jackson State. Mm-hmm. Why? Because Travis Hunter may have gotten more exposure going to Jackson State than he would have at Florida State. Mm-hmm. Why is that important? Is because now Travis Hunter can leverage his brand to get paid.
That's right.
And then you go to Jackson State and you make all this noise, and now you look up and you're on the cover of Sports Illustrated with Deion Sanders.
Yeah, and his son Shador.
And you're trying to get paid out here, leveraging your brand. Mm-hmm. He would not have been on the cover of Sports Illustrated had he gone to Florida State. Mm-hmm. Still the number one player in the country. Still would have made a great impact, but he would not have been on the cover of Sports Illustrated. So the bottom line, we're in this new era. It's the world of NIL.
Yeah, and of course, I'm in marketing, and I just love personal brands, and we're just in an era now with social media, with all these types of companies that want to brand stuff, and they have tons of money and they want to get exposure. It's just leveled the playing field. Like if it weren't for these phones and social media, a lot of this stuff probably wouldn't be as effective as it is. But now, man, we've seen some of our favorite players, whether it's at UNC and all these other places, man, people are getting a bag to post for companies, to drive cars, to go and eat in a place and stuff. And so when you talk about Travis Hunter, I saw that cover today and was like, whew. Like like you said, that exposure before he even steps on the field, to be on the cover with Deion Sanders, like you said, is a major thing. And now he can go off and make money for the a couple of years that he's going to be at school.
NIL is the college players' ability now to leverage their brand to make money.
Yeah,
simple as that. Mm-hmm. Now, states have different rules about whether or not high school players can leverage their brand to make money, but overall now college players can do this. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it's leveled the playing field. In particular, I think for minority athletes who come from backgrounds where they've struggled and now they have an opportunity to leverage their brand, and I say it this way, participate in the economic benefits that our colleges and universities and the NCAA have always had.
That boy using them buzzwords, I hear you.
Can we participate and get our little piece of change for the fact that we're making you all billions?
Can we be a part of the ecosystem?
Can we be a part of the ecosystem? And it is fantastic because, I'm getting out here, I'm grinding, I'm working, I'm training, I'm going to camp, I'm doing everything in the spring and summer, and I'm going out here representing the university, and now I get a chance to, make some money. If somebody's interested in my brand, they can pay me so that I can make a little money and they can grow their business. And that's a great thing.
Ken, you can talk about this, man, and you can pull from your sports agent side. You think about it, man. You have a college recruit, right? He's in high school. He's a senior. He's about to graduate, and he's dirt poor, but he's one of the best basketball players, best football players in the country. And now, before you were sitting in a situation where you're like, man, well, I have to, especially with football. Basketball, you got a little freedom because you're like, man, if I can just play 1 year and I might be able to hop to the league. In the NFL, you have to play 3 years. You have to be 3 years removed from high school, right? And so now it's a little easier to make a decision because you can sit here and say, man, well, my mom, we all living in a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment that's super small, and I got 4 brothers and sisters in here. And now I can get, it may not be, let me say this. Nick Saban said that Jackson State paid $1 million to get Travis Hunter and Deion Sanders debunked that and said that wasn't true. But even if it's $250,000, $100,000, 20 bands in LG is enough to make somebody say, I can wait a little longer before I have to go this route and have to wait for 3 years.
It impacts the HBCUs and the traditional universities. Look at the University of North Carolina. They got 4 guys back from their NCAA championship game team.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me NIL wasn't a big part of this. Mm-hmm. They knew that, hey, instead of going now and trying to get into the draft, I can wait a year and make a lot of money while I'm waiting. So it's really, really exciting to see what NIL has done, especially for African American. Mm-hmm. We're in the black court right now, especially for African American athletes who, it's hard because you go through, they're going to be players who make NIL money who are not going to make a whole lot of money in the pros.
Not even going to make it in the pros.
So you talk about creating a scenario where you're balancing the playing field. Because I'm making a contribution to my university and the economics at my university and the NCAA, I'm going to be able to benefit that even if I don't quite make it to the NBA or the NFL. What a great scenario,
I got one more thing on this, and I know you can feel me. So sampling, when you sample like rappers or in hip hop music, they would sample a lot of James Brown or a lot of Ron Isley and the Isley Brothers. A lot of
Beyonce sampled just now.
Yeah, she did. She sampled a few people for her latest record. But there was a moment when the old school people were complaining about being sampled, right? And they're like, I don't like what you did with my song. And somebody like Ron, I like what they do, and they pay good. Mm-hmm. So all of these coaches, there's been a lot of coaches in, whether it's been in PWIs or these Power 5 schools that are complaining about NIL. They need to be happy. You just brought up, here in Carolina, you got 4 guys went back to school. So that's good for college basketball.
Hey man, look, coach making
in football.
$4-5 million a year gonna complain about a player getting NIL, and the reason they're making that is because of the players.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, man, it's something that is long overdue. Now, I do think there need to be some regulations put in place.
It's the Wild Wild West right now.
Yeah, to get it off that Wild Wild West side, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to create a situation. You know what I'm saying?
Making it rain out there.
Making it rain out here in these communities, man. We don't want that situation where they're just, colleges are kind of working into, because then you get a pay-to-play type scenario.
Yeah.
And so then you're going to move back into the larger, more powerfully, economically powerful universities. Now they got the upper hand. We always wanted a young man or young woman to consider everything when they're deciding where they go to college.
Yeah.
We want a young man to say, if I want to go to Jackson State,
I can go
to Jackson State and still do the NIL. I mean, we don't want, the larger universities they just got so much money to offer that you can't make a decision to go somewhere else. So, I do think they need to put some rules in place.
No, I do as well, man. And I'm just so happy to see, man, you have, like you talked about it, can we participate? Can young athletes participate in that ecosystem of, hey, I'm going to work, you know this better than I do, like, man, these players, when they go to these big schools, man, it's like a full-time job. Like they can't even go to, don't study with the rest of the folks. They got to have a tutor and people that travel around with them. And so it's just good to see them get a little taste of some money and take a little of that pressure off, man. There's a lot of brothers, real quick, I'll wrap up on this, that go to school and they're like, man, I just hope I can make it. I hope I can last just, long enough to be able to take care of my mom and this pays off. And now this takes a little bit of that pressure off.
Man, can you imagine a young African-American athlete who grew up in a difficult environment and then they go to college, which is one of the goals.
Yeah.
And they stay in college to achieve their degree. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, they make enough money to get mom a house, or dad a house, or dad a car. And that's just, to me, the way it should have always been. And now we're getting toward that type of dynamic. Now, the other thing is, there's going to be a little jealousy out there now. Because I've seen some of the cars and vehicles and SUVs some of these young men are getting now.
I seen somebody with a Ferrari, dog.
Hey, man, just think, man, you a cornerback at, NC State, and then one of the other cornerbacks, and he pull up in his, his Ferrari, and you still...
His Wraith, his Rolls Royce Wraith.
Hey, man, so, there's going to be some things that come up over, from time to time with people like, we want to make sure everybody benefits. There are some programs, believe it or not, now where universities are doing NIL deals where all of the players on a particular team benefit from the deal.
Yeah.
And so there is an opportunity for, a lot of people to benefit economically from NIL, so that's great.
Man, I know we got to move on. The only thing, when you say that, I got to say this, man, about, there being any jealousy and things of that nature. Listen, man, once you turn 18, you can go out here and fight in a war, man. You can join the Army and any military service. Listen, when I'm driving down the street every day, LG, I can't get mad at Buddy when I'm riding in South Park. The Buddy got a Ferrari and I don't. Yeah. I can't do that. That's life. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not directing that at you, but I'm saying that's the argument that a lot of these coaches are talking about. Bro, they got to get mad. They got to get their feelings together when they can't start, right? They all tell them they got to deal with that. And then, another thing that people don't talk about, Ken, is there's a lot of people, a lot of players that have to leave colleges and they get their scholarships taken away. Mm-hmm. So you know what I mean? So it's life, man. You have to deal with that. So don't just because y'all want to keep all the money, like that's an issue, man. That's all. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah. No, I think it's good because I think there's gonna be, like I say, there's gonna be some players who, look, man, there's hating in everything.
In everything, bro.
So now, if you're on a college team, you're a cornerback, you think you're as good as Travis.
Yeah.
But you're not. You might have a little, when Travis pull up, you might have a little resentment. Well, the answer to that is go play like Travis. Get your game up.
No.
Get your game up. Now to get your brand up, and now to get your money up. That's the way it works out here now.
Yeah. Man, it's a Miss Louise mad at Miss Agnes that she ain't on first mic at the church over here. Dog. So that's just how it go, dog.
Yeah. Man. So, hey, man, I want to say props to Jackson State too. Man, that logo. I don't know who did that JSU design. Mm-hmm. It looked like a J Hill branding script. It looked so good, man.
Yeah, man.
It was beautiful, man. So, I tell you, whoever did that did something because now that's it. You go into the JSU sports facilities, it's everywhere, but it looks so classy.
It's beautiful
and strong, man. So props to whoever designed that JSU. I might give me a little merchandise, a little merch.
Look at that, man. That's powerful, man. That's what we want, man. Some people don't go to these large schools and they still are fans. They still wear paraphernalia. Like the only paraphernalia I have is Carolina gear, and I never went to the school.
Yeah.
All right, Ken, we got to talk about some other stuff, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, so these internet streets been talking, right? And I hate this, man, because when people pass away, it's out of sight, out of mind. People start feeling a certain way and they start losing their minds about a situation. But I think it's a fair argument. And so you may be surprised at how I feel about this. But here's what happened. Ryan Clark from ESPN said, I want to get something off my chest. and I hope this is a safe space to do it. He said Chris Brown, the R&B singer, is more talented than Michael Jackson. Not Michael Jackson at your church, not Michael Jackson that live up the street. Michael Joseph Jackson, Tito brother Michael Jackson. He said that Chris Brown is more talented than him. So Ken, I'm gonna pivot real quick to you. Y'all caught that. And ask.
You gonna moonwalk over?
I'm gonna moonwalk over here. Okay, Ken. Let's say this right. Talent. Chris Brown can sing really, really, really good. Probably one of the most talented singers in the industry. He can dance. He's known for his dancing as well. Like all kinds of dancing. He's really good at dancing. And he just overall, he can rap. He can do all kinds of things. So my question to you is he anywhere in the conversation as being more talented than Michael Jackson, in your opinion?
So first of all, they need to go ahead and implement that thing at ESPN where you don't drink before the broadcast. I don't know what he drank before he came out on that. No, there's some things that fall in the category of we'll never know. Okay? Mm-hmm. But this ain't one of them.
Okay.
Okay. Look, this... Man, I'm about to get mad up in here. I'm about to get mad.
LG laughing. Who you laughing at?
I'm about to get mad, man, because first of all, man, when you say MJ, you put some respect on it, all right?
Okay.
That's the bottom line now. You be careful.
Okay.
There are three MJs.
Yes.
And when you mention either one of them, be careful how you talk.
I know two of them. I don't know the third one.
Magic Johnson.
Oh, my bad, big fella.
Yeah, three of them, man, boy, big fella. Boy, what do you say? You got to be careful, man, when you're throwing that out. But now let me, what's that thing you always say? Throw somebody some bail or something?
I'm going to shoot Chris Brown some bail in just a second when you finish.
Okay, all right. I'm Brian Clark. I kind of get what you're trying to say. You're trying to say that what you've seen from Chris Brown is a massive amount of talent. My question, Jay, and I'll throw it back over to you, is was he considering all that Michael Jackson was? I mean, okay, I get it, man. You watch Chris Brown perform and sing and all that good stuff, but that ain't all that Michael Jackson was.
That's true.
So, unless you're willing to account for everything else that went into the equation, and that's just like talking about, to me, it's like talking about Michael Jordan and just talking about his turnaround jumper. Now, you got to consider everything that brother was, and I don't think that's what he did. Yeah.
First, let me say this. I think if you weren't, let's say, at least 5 or 8 years old in 1983 or 84, you never really got the real Michael Jackson experience. If you were 10 years old back in 92 when Mike had the long ponytail and didn't move as well as he did 10 years prior, you probably kind of missed it. And so I think that's a part of it. A lot of these folks are really young, and the Michael Jackson that they remember or even seen on video doesn't lend itself to laying your eyes or being in the moment when he was in the middle of his height. I will say this though, Ken. When I judge people off talent, whether it's hip hop and how well somebody can rap or sing, we've done all these top 5s and stuff like that, except best rapper of all time. I look at, I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna deviate. And I know you're gonna be uncomfortable when I say this. Like, I've been around you for a long time, and I've worked with a lot of clients and a lot of people. You are one of the most talented people, like off the cuff, like just being able to sense what's going on in interviews, in different scenarios where you're in court, and you're just so sharp in being able to maximize the moment and communicate what you need to the person or the person you want to direct that to. And you can do that without notes. You don't need anything. You could just be right here and do that. If Chris Brown's singing right here, I think he's one of the most talented singers to ever sing. So vocally, I'm gonna pause right here. I think he can vocally sing better than Michael Jackson. And I'm one of the biggest Michael Jackson fans you ever would meet on earth.
What?
Yeah. I said it. I'm sorry.
Man, I don't know what to say, man. You hurt me.
You know,
so
I'm
bad,
right. That's why you said
that ain't even no close call, man. Michael Jackson, one of the most talented singers to ever live, period. And Chris Brown, to me, you know what it's like? It's like Kobe and Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Chris Brown is Kobe, and Michael Jackson is Michael Jordan.
Okay.
To the MJ.
Yeah.
That's how it is. And even Chris Brown said it when they asked him about this controversy. He said, "You don't get." It's funny how Kobe and Chris Brown said the same thing. You don't get me unless you have them. Now, I'm not saying that Chris Brown is an imitator. I'm just saying that there are elements of Michael Jackson in what Chris Brown does, and so I can't take Kobe. And Kobe's telling me a lot of what he is derives from MJ, and then I'm gonna turn around and put Kobe up above MJ. I can't. Chris Brown telling us, man, a lot of what you get from me is from MJ. So I can't then take him and put him above MJ. But if you look at all the songs that MJ sang, man, from a baby till he was 89 years old, and the tonal quality of his singing.
That was a tonal quality.
I mean, the dude, man, I know y'all young out there, man, but go back and listen to She's Out of My Life or something like that. I mean, man, that dude could pull it out of you, make you cry. I mean, I don't see Chris Brown in that way. I just don't. I mean, I see Chris Brown as one of the elite performers in history, but I can't put him up there with MJ vocally or as a performer. And I see him as part of the result of MJ. You know, that's how I see him.
Yeah, I feel you. And I think a lot of people do that. Like, you know, because someone was a pioneer or they came first, they make it seem like the person coming after them, or if they're inspired by that person or aspire to be that person, that means that they like are disqualified from being more talented or better than them.
And I start saying Ruben started better than Luther. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no time for all this, man. All this nonsense. No,
Ruben is not a better. I'm not gonna talk about Ruben studded right now. All right. So anyway, you see the version
studded, whatever it is, man. Same thing.
Ruben started.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say is this, and I'm kind of circling back, and I wanted to kind of dovetail off what you said. So here's the deal. I believe that vocally, Chris Brown is more talented than Michael Jackson, and that's okay to say that. I think dancing wise, well, I might not think, and I used to dance like Michael Jackson and Chris Brown, and I understand the difference in the two, but if Chris Brown was born 30 years earlier, he might do some of the same dances that Michael Jackson did. Hold on, just calm down. Let's walk through this slow. We're hand in hand together. We're going to go up here. But that doesn't mean that he's more talented than Michael Jackson. Just because he may do something as good as Mike or better than Mike doesn't mean overall he's more talented. And here's what you're tapping into, and here's what I know. Charisma is a talent. Magnetism, star quality is a talent. You said something earlier today. We were on the phone in our pre-production meeting, and you was like, Beyonce still has to put on a nice dress. You know what I mean? And transform into Beyonce. Well, you still have to work hard. Like Michael Jackson, I've seen him perform to exhaustion. I've seen him, if you've ever seen This Is It, you've seen him prepare to exhaustion. And I just feel, I've said this before, I feel like Michael Jackson was a supernova. If you look at Michael Jackson when he sings, not I'll Be There, but When I Wonder Who's Love, what's that? Who's Loving You, I think is the song. He's like you talk about being a baby. He was a baby, bruh. It's the one where he had the purple hat and the afro kind of puffing out.
No, man.
Dog, he is 10 years old, and there are grown people who are professional artists who cannot touch him in that moment of his life. And not only that, and I'll wrap up on this because I'll get on a tangent about Mike. I'm getting chills talking about him. He was a superstar like 4 times in his life. That moment with ABC and all of that, then with Ben, the two of us, When he was singing about a mouse and went global, dog.
Made you feel it.
Then Off the Wall, Michael Jackson is incredible. That's when he was a young man. And then Thriller, bro. Like, and I ain't even going into the rest. That's about 4 or 5 times right there.
Man, to me, you can solve it real easy. So you can say, all right, we filming the Thriller video. Take Michael Jackson out, and we supposed to be putting Chris Brown in Thriller. No, it ain't gonna work, man. What's the other one where Michael Jackson did?
That's
take Chris Brown. What we supposed to be taking Mike out of that and putting Chris Brown in? Smooth Criminal. Hey, you boy. Chris Brown can't do that lean like that, man. Come on, man.
That was a mechanism in his shoes, Ken.
Yeah, but he pulled it off, made you believe it. So look, man, don't be trying to, man. It ain't even worth talking. Let me tell you who's a closer call.
What?
It's a man.
Hold on. I don't even want to hear the name.
Chris Brown ain't even second. Chris Brown ain't even second.
Don't say it, man.
Spotlight.
Stop, man. Stop, dog. Stop, man. Stop, man. Don't even do my boy like that, Usher. Man. I hate to do it. Go
Usher
ahead.
A closer call to me than Chris Brown. Y'all quit. Please don't put Chris Brown up there and say he the next Michael Jackson. Usher, to me, is more talented than Chris Brown. So I'm just gonna say it like that and get that out there, and we can handle our business and move on to something. I don't even remember none of Chris. What's the last album Chris won? Now what we got out? Breezy? Is that the name of the thing?
He got a new album coming out there. He got 100 albums.
I think it's called Breezy or something. But that's what I'm saying. What's his, like you told me, man? What's his last album before that?
Dog, listen. First, let me say this. No.
Question, man.
No, I don't know. I don't.
See, that's what.
But listen. Hold on.
Thriller.
No, dog.
Off the Wall. I could go on ABC.
The question is not who is more famous. That's a landslide. There's no one on earth more popular. You talking about Michael Jackson, Elvis, people like that. Michael Jordan, like the president, the Pope. That's what his conversation when it comes to that. Yeah. But I'm saying, as far as talent, I think it's close. Now, I'm going to say Usher, you're right. Usher is, I'm not going to say he's ahead of Chris Brown. I think those two are closer together. In my opinion, Chris Brown and Usher is more of a comparison. I don't think there's anyone on earth that you can really compare.
Hey, I'm just old, man. So like, I can remember Confessions and all that.
I know.
I can't remember a single. But
I
ain't
old, man.
I'm
like,
OG.
Yeah, we're old, man.
You know
so I don't want to say that. I don't want to put.
I would like to have some young people on, man, and say, roll down to Chris Brown. But I'd like to hear what some young people would say about this, man. Young people say Michael
Jackson. They say Chris Brown. That's what I'm saying to you.
Chris Brown ain't even saying Chris Brown.
Of course he's not. He wouldn't want to do that to himself. He want to. You know what the headlines would be? Chris Brown says, "Yes, I'm better than Michael Jackson." You know what kind of firestorm that would set off?
All right, man.
He's smart. He's smart. He got a good publicist. They told him that, hey, when you go in there, don't say nope.
Man, I'm gonna ask our producer, man.
Well, Graham,
is it close? I mean,
you can speak, bro.
It's not close, is it?
No.
I ain't think so.
Okay, hold on. All right. So, see, but this y'all doing the classic thing that people do in situation and arguments, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we could go back to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Okay, Kobe Bryant can shoot. Kobe Bryant scored 81 points in a game. Kobe Bryant has 5 championships. Kobe Bryant won defensive. I'm not sure if he won defensive player of the year. Jordan won at least one defensive player of the year. But
5 times all first team, all defense. Go ahead. Kobe,
I don't know what his stats were there. But and LG can look that up. But my point is, it's not like we're talking about inches away from Kobe. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, the aura of Michael Jordan that comes with that. So it's hard. The same thing with Michael Jackson. If you looking at the aura, if you looking at Captain EU and you trying to compare Captain EU to Chris Brown, then you lost in that. If you talking about Thriller and all of that, it gets hard to be able to compare those two.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, I understand. I think that there is just a large distinction between Chris and Mike from just a pure talent standpoint. Now I have to dig in. I have to be real with you. I don't know what Chris has done from a production standpoint or writing standpoint. It just seemed to me like Mike was the ultimate entertainer.
He was.
From a talent standpoint.
He was.
From a baby up until the day he passed. And So it just makes it hard to compare him. It ain't nothing mad. I ain't mad at Chris Brown. It's hard to compare him to anybody. I mean, it's kind of like MJ. It's almost like no matter who you bring up as a basketball player, they're not gonna compare to MJ.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I get it. I ain't mad at Chris Brown. I think he's a very talented guy. But maybe it's just that nobody can compare to Michael Jackson for me from a talent standpoint.
I feel the same. Green, what you find out?
First team all defense 5 times.
Who?
Kobe
made first team. That's what I'm saying.
All defense. 5 times.
And you could probably go to his
12 times all together.
12 times all together. Like, that's what I'm saying. The only thing, my point was, and you kind of understand what I'm saying, is like when you just looking at the talent that it's comparable. It's just only when we start when we bring all this other stuff in. Now, I say this, I think talent is being able to understand choreography well. Like, I go back to him being, like, I'm talking about Michael Jackson. I'm talking about, like, being able to do that at such a young age now. Joe Jackson might have beat it in him, but either way, he was able to grasp it.
Yeah, and so I think MJ and MJ are the best at what they do.
Yeah.
And there's really no comparison. You start talking about point guards, Magic, basketball players, MJ, and if you're going to go entertainer, I think Michael Jackson is the most talented entertainer
ever
that ever lived.
To me, I agree.
So props to Chris Brown. I think he's climbed that ladder.
It just ain't a blowout like people trying to make it seem.
Yeah.
And as somebody who I've been to, I went to go see the Jacksons when I was like in 1984 in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's just hard. I don't want people to just get caught up so much that it's like a blowout. But it is a blowout.
Let me tell you something about Michael Jackson, man. I know we getting ready to wrap the show up. And y'all go on there and subscribe. I know you're going to say your thing like you do, but give us your thoughts and ideas about Michael Jackson.
About the show,
you're
right.
I'm taking James Thunder right
No, you could.
But, I just really would like to understand how people view them both, but I think MJ is just the most talented guy ever, and that's just the way it is,
Yeah, and anytime you have this conversation, it's errors, man. Again, the people who think LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, they weren't there, man. You weren't there. You weren't a kid. You don't remember how it felt to see them commercials, man. When they talk about sometimes I dream. Yeah. That he is me. No, they wasn't there when that commercial hit, bro. Yeah. They didn't see him hit that shot on Bill. What's my man name? Russell.
Man, and Michael Jackson at the end of his life.
Yeah. If
you watch him, he's still doing the same stuff. He was a little stiffer. Let's be for real.
Yeah.
Because he was older. Because Michael Jackson was in his 50s when he passed?
No, he died at 50, if I'm not
mistaken. Died at 50?
Mm-hmm.
But he was still doing all that stuff and could sing. And
the man performed for 40 years. His bones old, dog.
Man, I'm telling you, man, just talented as come on, man.
Graham, they got MJ almost in black and white, dog, performing, man. Hey, man. So, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Shout out to Chris. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say, man. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah,
props to Chris Brown. He is one of the most talented individuals, entertainers to come through. I think he, don't get me on a tangent. I think if he wouldn't have got distracted over the past 10 years, now we would really be having a conversation if he wouldn't have got caught up in a lot of things.
T Woods.
Not that T Woods effect.
T Woods effect.
So, yeah, man. But I'm going to let you slide on that. I heard that little dig you said, man, Magic Johnson, big fella, being the best point guard ever. I don't know. We might have a top 5 about that, but not tonight.
Let's go. I'll win that too. But anyway, man, we go ahead, man. Great night, Jay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fam, I love you, man.
I love you too, bro.
Yeah.
All right, so, hey, man, LG, it's always great to see you, man. We love y'all, man. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment below the thing, man, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.